Good morning, pregame crew. It is Friday, February 10th, 2023, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern. Good morning, and how are ya? Are you doing good? I hope you are. I hope you're going to have a weekend filled with love with whomever your significant other is, or your dog, or whomever. Just give someone a hug, a friend, your galentine, your palantine, whatever it may be. So you're at the pregame show. In 8 minutes, I'll get started with indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. Between now and then, I'm going to say hi to my friends because that's just required, and do an audio-visual check and maybe a couple chart requests. Thank you, Night Truck. You can hear me. You can see me. Good. All right. Hey, Nugget. Belated happy birthday to my Nugget. Hey, Guile. That's so funny. My husband did not think it was as funny as I did. He doesn't always listen to my show, or he listens. He just doesn't always look at the screen because he's working. But he saw it yesterday. He didn't think it was that funny, but I did. Hi, Ham. Train Man. Hey, Bob, Andre, Greg, Whitney, Keith, George, Mighty Pawns, Carlos. Hello, Sam. Hey, Bennett. Hey, Paul, Marshall, Tess. Good morning. Today's a new day, my friend Tess. Buongiorno, Carlos. Hey, Mary, ER, Michael, Basque, Mal, Diego, Amir, Akin, Fernando, Sal. Hey, Jorge, the party can get started. You're here. Hi, Brave and Crazy Cal. Let's get this show on the road. All right, first chart request is ADA. 80. I want to say 808. Kick drum, make the girly get some. But I'll just shut that down right now. All right, we have a daily double bottom at 3542, 3539. On the next bounce, a daily lower high is anticipated. Weekly chart is okay. It has enough room for a higher low. Best case scenario here, ER, would be an inverse head and shoulders. That would be best case scenario. So for symmetry, that would be around 33 cents. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean you're going to get 33. It just means if you were looking, where's an area you would logically be scouting it? And I would say around 33 cents. Hourly, we have a trend change, but it's going to be lockstep with Bitcoin. Potential 4-hour bear flag. Pretty painful at the moment. You did get a higher low while price got a double bottom. Slight bullish divergence with RSI. I think that's about all I can do for you. I think I covered every angle. EMAs are resistance until they're not. They're just manhandling price. Happy Friday to you. Hey, Dragus, Sarana, Capital Lee, Corey, LTCUSD. Okay. Weekly ran into the 200 MA. Yes, crypto even obeys the boomer indicators of the simple moving average. The purple line is the 200 simple. The yellow is the 50 simple. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation as to what all these colors are. So you have a weekly double top, daily downtrend, 4-hour potential bear flag, hourly downtrend. Bears are in control of this chart on every time frame. Let's see what any time frame they're controlling. No, 15-minute bear flag, 5-minute. Okay, bulls, you get one check mark for 5-minute. Everything else, it's not going that well. Hey, Trading View viewers, I'm sorry I missed your questions yesterday. It's hard to monitor two chats, but let's get this going. USD Mexican peso. It's having probably a bad day because dollar has been having a wonderful day. So now the next bounce, you would expect a lower high compared to 1929. So let's see. Put some math behind this. You have retraced about 75% of the move from this lower low to this higher high. So that increases the chances of that lower high here. So bears are looking for bounces to short 1883, 1882. Hourly double top, support 1868. And below that, 1864 and 1862. Bears are in control. Hi, Jimbo. How are you? Your dog is mad. MNMD. We'll get started here in 3 minutes officially. MNMD, a psychedelic name, has been having a wonderful week, wonderful few weeks actually, daily uptrend. I hope you had an exit plan before you got in. I always have to say that. Y'all know I have to say all the required disclaimers. You have this tightening range. I would say if the low of yesterday is lost, that would be a possible sign to get out. Potential hourly bear flag to be aware of. Mary, when someone asks me, I have a rule of thumb. If anyone asks me, should they sell, I will always, listen to me, always say yes. Always. It's required. With my job, it's required. I have to say yes. So if you are thinking, should I sell? The fact that it's coming up in your mind, yes, you should sell. Then the question is, should you sell all or partial? So you have to have your criteria for exit and say, okay, if the 4-hour uptrend is lost, I will exit. If the daily uptrend is lost, I will exit. If you're in a long, which Mary's discussing her Tesla long. So that is how I would do that. So I just want you to know, before I look at a chart, before I even know the name, just know my carte blanche across the board policy is, if you ask me, should you sell, I will always say yes, because typically that means the name is getting extended, or the person has a larger position size than they're comfortable with. We got the long weekend. We have CPI on Tuesday. So, and also know that I was telling my friend Joey, who bought down in like 105 or something crazy. He did a great job. And he asked me, we were talking about one morning, I'm like, oh, it's 131. Maybe you should trim a little. So he's probably like, oh gosh, don't ever listen to Lori, because look at the money I left on the table. But he had great exits in the 170s as well. So in general, your rule of thumb, Amir, is gap downs are for buying, gap ups are for selling. Those are general rules of thumb. So just know that. But with a gap down scenario, you could either look to wait for a gap fill. So let's look at SPY. So if we open below 40581, that's a gap down. So then you wait for that gap to fill. And once it fills, then you look for an opportunity to short. And that's a gap down scenario. Gap up, same thing. If something gaps up above price yesterday, you wait for it to fill that gap, and then you look for a potential long. So I never want to short in the hole, ever. So when the market is opening up, it's down 4.7%. Now it's recovered a little bit, but I don't want to short in the hole. I want to wait for bounces to short. I need to make sure I have meat left on the bone before I just jump in a short where everything's already extended. Now I always tell you, especially if you're inconsistently profitable, is go with the trend. You'll have more success. So yes, the trend is down, but I just need the bounce before I can short. All right. Okay, that's an opinion. I'm going to remove that because that's an opinion. All right. Don't want to get people stirred up here. It's too early in the morning. Y'all ready to get started? Let's get this show on the road. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter at Chart Gal Lori, that would be Wonderful. What I do here every morning is I show you my table. This is just a tool that I use to communicate with you in a more objective way, even though it has tons of subjectivity built into the table. This is just what I use to communicate to you, and obviously we're leaning more bearish. And you saw yesterday I had bonds and Bitcoin highlighted in that turquoise color, saying these are the two liars. These two things are saying the market bulls are lying, and it turned out to be accurate. The bonds have been telling us we've got weakness under the hood, and despite these bounces that we've had, it's been hard to trust them with bonds so weak. Someone wrote in chat yesterday or day before that bonds represent the smart money, and bonds represent 80 or 85% of the money that's traded on Wall Street is in the bond market. So I would say that's probably true. So I have these notes. They're typically off screen. I'm going to show you my notes today because there's some points I want to go over. And y'all, I have some exciting news. I am going to be interviewing Jared Tendler. I've talked about his book all week long. This is Jared Tendler. So he wrote the book, How to Tackle basically the mental game of trading. And this is the inchworm concept that I went over with you yesterday. So Jared will be interviewed by me in the next couple of weeks. So I will keep you updated when we have a date and time to release that. All right. Let's get started with the indices. 4-hour downtrend, we're not oversold. Hourly is oversold. However, we've lost our daily uptrend. So hourly oversold doesn't matter as much. So here's how I'm looking. I'm just going to type it out here. This is what I'm looking. I am looking bullish in AM, and that's aggressive. That's me being very aggressive, looking bullish in AM and bearish the latter half of day. And I'm going to go into reverse back burner mode. Does that make sense? So I'm looking, I can't shorten the hole. So if I want to be bullish, I can be bullish this morning and look for setups, wait for stair-step patterns to work out, and then bearish latter half of the day. And I should also mention that we have Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. this morning. I always set a reminder when we have news that's coming out after the market opens. So 30 minutes after the market opens, we have Michigan consumer expectations. And sometimes those can move the market, and sometimes it's just a blip, or like Jay-Z would say, it's dust off my shoulder. Nobody cares about it. So, but you need to know it's there. Awesome, Jimbo. I'm glad that you like the Trade Keeper and it's working for you. That's great. Mark, I would always close partial. If you're asking me, should you sell or should you exit, I will always say yes. And the question is, should you do a partial exit or full exit? So, and that's going to be up to you. And remember, you can, Mark, this is a good question. So I'm going to type out my answer. So when you're looking at options, should you exit? Typically what I will do is exit all, and then I would rebuy half at a lower strike. So he's in puts, okay? He's in puts and they're a winner. So let's say that he is in, I will get back to the indices, I promise. I do remember why I'm here and I won't lose sight of that. So yesterday we closed around 150. We're opening up at 149. Let's say he has 155 puts. So today I would look to close those, and then I would buy maybe closer to the gap of 140, like 147.50 or 145 puts, a little bit out the money possibly. So what you're doing is you're rolling your profits into cheaper strikes. And I do this all the time. I do it intraday. So if I have a trade like this, let's see, how can I denote this? So if I'll just draw it with a pen. So here, if I am in a short over here, let's look at yesterday's action. That may be easier to explain. So let's say at open, I enter puts. I enter 155 puts. It pushes down in the right direction. I sell all. I wait for a pop up, and then I enter 152.50 puts. I'm constantly going for the cheaper strike and rolling more into the money or just slightly out of the money. And that's keeping my profit, because now this profit is locked in partially, let's say 60% of that. Then the 40% is the cost of the new tranche of puts that I'm buying. And I'll wait for a push down, and then I sell those, and then a pop up, and then I re-enter a lower strike. So you can do that in swings. I love doing that. So if you've been holding, let's say you had Apple puts back here, you were a genius, and you have 160 puts. You wake up today, they may be worth $1,000 each, $10 each, which is $1,000. I'm not going to hold on to those. Even if I think Apple's going down further, I'm going to lock all that in, and then I'm going to roll it down to a lower strike. So there's just the options tip for you. All right, let's get back to indices. So we have a little bounce happening here at hourly oversold. We already discussed we're not in a daily uptrend anymore. So now bears are waiting for bounces to short, and bulls are attempting to say, hey, I bet this doesn't consolidate very much. Let's see if we can get that weekly higher low set and get it set early. I doubt that it's set this week. It would be more likely set next week. Reminder, we have CPI on Tuesday. So the market has been very resilient with individual names tagging in to do the heavy lifting. It doesn't mean it will continue to be resilient. Remember, we have the FOMC meets every 6 weeks, not every quarter. Every 6 weeks they meet. If they do a rate hike every 6 weeks, that's like 8.5 rate hikes this year. I'm not saying we're going to get that. I doubt we get that. I pray we don't get that. But just know that we have such headwinds to navigate. So don't get overly bullish and or overly bearish. Just trade what you see. And today it's reverse back burner day for me. This is the most important thing I'll say today. It's reverse back burner. And what that means is I'm waiting for overbought conditions to possibly short. All right. CPI next Tuesday. Hang Seng was down 2% overnight, and DAX last time I looked was down 1.2%. Now it's down 1.4%. So Asia didn't look good overnight, and Europe's not looking that peachy either. All right. Let's look at NASDAQ. Oh, wait, did I give you levels? No. Resistance 4098, support 4060, and then we're looking at that ever important 404850. And that was the low of FOMC day. Yes, that was the low of FOMC day. So that'll be the key level going forward. NASDAQ. Resistance 124625. Support low of day 12270. And then Papa Powell's low of 12055. So 12,000 is the number to hold for NASDAQ. It's the most important number out there, RTY. RTY, we've already lost the FOMC low, so your next support is 1900, below 1907, 1900 psychological, then 1883. You're welcome, Mark. Resistance 1926, RTY is super weak. These small caps, y'all, let's look at it. So if you're a TCG member, you got the opportunity to participate in this little stock picking contest we did. I want you to look. Here's my picks right here. Lucid, I picked for a long. It's up almost 50%. And I picked Carvana as my tiebreaker. It's up almost 155%. Mara is up 66%. Tesla's up 90%, which that doesn't fit what I'm trying to tell you. So what I'm telling you is these small beaten down names have really gotten their groove on. Look at DKNG up 50%, AMC up 33%. The small caps have had a beautiful January. I would anticipate more incoming consolidation in small caps. So if you're looking for an area to short, I would definitely be looking at small caps. And I would not be looking at oil, and we'll go over that in just a second. We have Dow, resistance 33782. And we lost that daily support here of 33661. We lost that 33579. I would still call this a double bottom. What is that? 43 and 79. That's $36. That's 0.01%. That's not really a bear break of that level yet. I would say we got a double bottom at the moment. 4 hour, we're getting a hammer. Bulls buying the dip. Hourly got oversold. Bounces are for shorting. Do y'all see this? We went from lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. When you pull back this dramatically, bounces are for shorting. The most likely scenario is a lower high on the 4 hour. If I gave this to 100 very experienced traders and I showed them this chart and I said, okay, everybody take a vote for Dow. What's the more likely scenario? 4 hour higher high or 4 hour lower high? 100% of them better come back and say lower high. That's the more likely scenario. There are some great YouTube videos out there on how to trade options. I always suggest paper trading options. They are the most difficult instrument to learn out there. They provide you with a lot of upside reward, but also lots of risk, because when you trade options, you are fighting the Greek army, and they are a tough group to fight. So options can be tough and you can lose a lot of money. So I definitely suggest paper trading. So I was saying 100% of them better say a 4 hour lower high is the more likely scenario, which means we want to look for 15-minute overbought and potential 5-minute overbought conditions to short. And ES and YM, they're all approaching those conditions shortly. VIX got some pep in its step. Potential hourly bull flag. It got over that key resistance, that $20 range. 21.71, we got over that. We got over 21.80. Your next resistance, $22 psychological, and 22.46. But I would say we need more convincing over this 21.91. That's only 11-cent bull break over 21.80. You want a little bit more. But again, if I gave this to 100 consistently profitable traders and I said, what's the more likely scenario? They would say a 4 hour higher low. So you would do the opposite. You would look for oversold conditions to possibly buy VIX or short the market. All right, U.S. 10-year is strong. U.S. 10-year is strong. It got a higher high. It could be a megaphone. NASDAQ bulls are hoping this is a megaphone. I have a very small bullish position this morning in the indices buying the dip. I'm going to be freaking mad. Frickin's a bad word, kids. If this bounce that I've been looking for this morning happens, it's already happening. Dang it. Oh well, plenty of opportunity out there. Plenty. Okay. I did the indices. I did US 10-year VIX. I showed you the table and why the dollar has been a super important chart. Let's take a look at that. And XLE is bullish. I said I'd tell you why. Let's look at the dollar. The dollar has a potential to probably look better on the 2-day bull flag. But y'all see that 50 MA? If you're not a believer in the simple moving average, if this chart doesn't tell you to believe in it, I don't know what does. So it cannot get over the daily 50 MA right now. But what dollar bulls want to see is a trend change. Get that higher high, and that would be ominous for the market. Extremely ominous. And I should also mention, Tuck, that I'm also working on an options course that I hope to have done by the summer. I've given myself a deadline to have it done by the summer, a beginner options course. So we have plenty of room for a daily higher low. Dollar bulls are looking for that daily higher high, and then hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your euro, hide your peso if this dollar gets that daily higher high, and then the market would also experience a headwind. Oil got a big boost overnight on Russian news. Russia is cutting back their production by 500,000 barrels, I believe. It's pulling back now on that news, but at this point, I would say that pullbacks are for buying. I've been looking for this daily lower high for days, and I honestly been getting cut up. I had one loss and I had one win, and I'm net zero for the week on oil. So I've been looking for this daily lower high. That is the more likely scenario compared to 82.48. However, this news just really came in on volume. I want you to look at this volume. That's at 2 a.m. my time, which I know we have a lot of international traders that trade oil, so they were awake in prime time for them. But that's not like negligible volume. That's notable. So just something to keep in mind. So that's why I had XLE marked off bullish. We have retraced about 65% of that move. Aggressive bears are looking to top fish 80.33 and see if they can nail that daily lower high. You can have it. I'm done with oil for the week. All right, I had some notes. So I shared with y'all that I will be interviewing Jared Tindler. This is the inchworm concept that I tried to cover yesterday. Of course, this diagram is way better. And the overall concept is we need to constantly be working on minimizing the C game. The worst part of our game in trading, minimize that. And then the inchworm can then move forward. We want to move forward. The biggest problem, and maybe this is my problem, and maybe it's not your problem, but the biggest problems I've had in trading is having a wide range. Where I have this set of skills is my C game, this set of skills is my B game, this set is my A game, constantly adding to my A game over here. Oh, futures, oh, options. And then it gets really flat. How can the inchworm move forward if it's completely flat? It can't. We have to narrow it up, work on the C game, get rid of that, move it in order to move forward. So I hope that concept makes sense. If not, hopefully Jared will be able to explain it better than I have. So I was watching his video this morning and going back over the book, and stop learning new things. Yes, I said it. I told you yesterday, suck less. Well, stop learning new things. You think that if you just learn to trade one more ticker or one more strategy, that will fix all your problems. Nope, it won't. Promise. I pinky promise you. Trade 1 to 2 tickers. And this can be controversial, but I think it's important to really narrow your focus. Get in bed with that ticker. Get to know that ticker intimately. Tickers have personalities. You need to know it. If you jump in and you try to trade NEO or BABA in the first 10 minutes and you've never traded it at open, good luck. You won't know that it's hard to get fills at open. So it is my opinion and strong advice to trade less tickers. Quit chasing the next shiny thing. Quit it. Trade 1 to 2 tickers. And if it's SPY, QQQ, SMH or QQQ should give you everything your little heart's ever desired. All right, stop adding indicators. If anything, take some away. Yes, we sell indicators. Yes, I developed an indicator that we sell. But stop adding. Take away, if anything. Stop listening to 5 gurus at once. You probably have 3 live shows going. You follow 500 Twitter, and I'm asking you to follow me, and I'm also talking out the other side of my mouth. But you have 20 different alert systems that you've subscribed to. Stop it. Stop it. The guru you need to listen to is your intuition. Reduce the number of variables that enter your decision tree. If this is a scientific experiment, this is what I used to say in healthcare. I would go into businesses, doctor offices. I managed over 200 physician groups. And I would tell them I can't go in and fix everything at once, because if I break something, I won't know what caused the breakdown. It's like a scientific experiment. I have to keep some control, some things the same. So you don't want to change your broker, change your indicator, change the ticker you look at, change the room that you're in, change the style all at once. Because if something's broken, you're not going to know which part broke it. Keep some controls the same, reduce the number of variables, reduce the number of clutter and noise in your life during your trading time, set alerts, be regimented, be disciplined, work on your C game, and suck less. Okay? So that was today's motivational speech. There you go. How I get away with all this every day on my soapbox, I have no idea, and y'all keep coming back, but you know what? I'll take it. All right, oil, we went over that. Gold. Yeah, hit the like button. Oh, you're funny. Okay, this is a potential 4-hour bear flag. As long as dollar maintains its strength, Bounces are for shorting. This crazy lady right here, sitting here 24 hours ago, told you this is a beautiful top fish. I said 1900. Looking for that daily bear flag. I drew this little line here, and I said, watch for that tiny little higher high and look for a short. And wouldn't you know it, crazy lady got it by $2.30. I was just off $2 on a $1,900 instrument. When we have these classic bear flags and bull flags that we can print for mom's refrigerator, and they're so classic, like that gold daily bear flag, that was a gift, an absolute gift. Okay, nat gas. SMH is semiconductors. Oh gosh. Nat gas. Do y'all see this thing can't even get a proper hourly EQ? Higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, higher high. What the frick? Like, this is then become a broadening formation. It can't even get a proper hourly EQ. This is a mess. It's tore up from the floor up, as my grandma would say. And I just don't know how people are trading this successfully. And if you are, you just go, boy. You just go, girl. Yes, we have a double bottom here at 234, 235. And as Dan said, nat gas has a history of having potential bear flags, break bear, and that marked a temporary bottom. And maybe that's what we've done here on this daily bear flag here. I would like a breakdown below 234, and then that could possibly mark that bottom. But look, it didn't do it here. It didn't. This was probably a bear flag on the 12 hour. It didn't do it there. So 8 EMA is still large and in charge. All right, I have 7 minutes left, and I haven't even gotten to my tickers. Okay. Apple 4-hour EQ breaking bear. Breaking bad. Breaking bear. You have a gap down here at 14661. Do y'all see that? So if I'm a bear, that's my target. That could act as a natural magnet. That is my target if I'm a bear. Bounces are for shorting, in my opinion. The only names that I don't like short on my list here of Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla. Oh, where did my other names go? Oh, TSLL. I need to move down. Baba, Google, Netflix, SMH. Nvidia and Tesla are the only two names that I would be looking for bull trades on hourly oversold. And I don't even think Tesla's there yet. Apple, Amazon, Baba, Google, Netflix, and SMH are all reverse back burners, meaning 5 or 15 minute overbought. And if you want to trade them, go set those alerts. So we're already 5 minute overbought, but that's in pre-market trading. That doesn't count. It's not that important to me when it's in pre-market hours. Talking is hard, y'all. Do once per bar. I trade Apple a lot, so might as well just leave that there. Yep, it's naughty gas. Okay, so Apple, reverse back burner setup. Amazon, reverse back burner setup. Nvidia is one of the stronger names. I like a pullback buy. Hourly, I want that sucker oversold. You see that alert right there? I want it oversold on the hourly for a buy. So it didn't get there for me. Tesla, potential hourly bear flag. It has been running the hardest. I like a pullback buy. It's a leader until it isn't. So just keep treating it as a leader until it shows its hand differently. Baba, Hang Seng was down overnight 2%. I think bounces are for shorting on Baba. Google, they're green this morning, so I actually should take that off the list. But I do believe that reverse back burner could work on first 15 minute overbought on Google. Netflix, same thing. You see that 15 minute little orange triangle there? My alert's already set. Tell me when it gets to 69, right before 70. I'm looking for a Netflix swing short. Semis, reverse back burner, 5 minute, 15 minute overbought conditions, or for shorting. Beat up from the feet up. I like that. Okay, Matic. And TCGers, I will be live in the room for the midday show as well. Just FYI. Daily inside bar. Weekly got that higher high. Holding 8 EMA. Eesh. 4-hour lower high, the more likely scenario compared to 13483. You've bounced enough for a higher low. So this puts you in a really precarious situation here. You bounced 70%. So a higher low is more likely on the pullback, and bears are looking for a place to top fish, and you probably just got it. This is a tough one. This is really tough. But that 4-hour lower high is where I would be looking currently. ASTR, and then I'm going to shut her down for the week. It's been one heck of a week. I hope that you have enjoyed the shows this week and I've helped you in some way. If so, please hit that like button, okay? Penny ticker, don't like it. Volume's all right. $1 million isn't quite super liquid. If 57 cents and 58 cents are going to act as a double bottom, they must have a fierce hold at open here. And your resistance is essentially high of day yesterday. These tickers are so yuck. I don't trade these really I don't trade penny stocks, so they're sometimes painful to look at the charts. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. If you could give me a follow on Twitter, that'd be lovely, at CharkowLori. And TCGers, I will copy these notes over to the room in about 30 seconds. Y'all be good out there.